So as you guys can see, we have a whole lot of Dragon Ball greatness to talk about. And honestly, I was not expecting all of this. I only was expecting to get the Goku, and then all of this stuff showed up in the same package. So big shout out to 5K Toys. I will leave the link to their website in the description below. Please guys, go check them out because they are super dope and they are super awesome for sending me these to review for them. But for this particular review, I'm going to make sure to just focus on Goku himself, which is the figure right here. That's what we're going to be talking about. I'm sure you guys figured that out by the title / thumbnail. I'm going to make separate videos focusing on these accessory kits. Therefore, I can make sure to give proper explanation and go over the details and everything without seeming like I'm rushing, because I don't want to cram too much into a video. But that being said, that's a long introduction, so let's go ahead and get started. What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. And as you can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the Kong Studios Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue Goku. This is him in his Whis uniform, his Whis training uniform, and that's a dope image on the package. I really do wish it was colored, but I do also kind of like the gray and black. But yeah, that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. So let's go ahead and run through that sexy packaging so we can bust this figure out and see what he's all about. Now for the sexy packaging, it's pretty standard. You don't really get anything with it. You do have this image of Goku powering up right here at Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue. It says Kong right there. Nothing much on the top, nothing on the bottom, nothing on the sides. And then of course on the back, it just says Adult Collection, Warning, Choking Hazard, Small Parts, Not for Children under 14 years old. So that's pretty much all you get. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of the packaging, because I know some people like to see that. And so for my inside the plastic people, here you go. This is exactly what you get with this figure. Some of the stuff kind of fell out, but I think that was my fault. I was messing around with it a little too much. Now, straight out of the packaging, the first thing I want to say about this guy is this figure is pretty gnarly. And I just want to thank Kong Studios for delivering this in the first place, because this is my favorite costume for Goku anyway. I don't know what it is. I just really did love this costume. And I feel like it's something that we will probably never ever see again, simply because I don't really see Goku or Vegeta going back to these uniforms. And speaking of Vegeta, I really hope that they make Vegeta as well. But taking a quick look at Goku, first off, I have to say I really love this hair sculpt. Super Saiyan Blue had several different looks, and I honestly feel like this is much more accurate than the Tamashii Nations version, which I do have right here for the people who want to know how the hair stack up. This one is obviously a much darker blue, but I do feel like this one is a little bit more accurate. I know sometimes it did change throughout the anime, but this is how they look side by side. And of course, this one is a complete brand new sculpt, and it looks really good. Now, one thing I also want to say I like about this hair is, with the way that the bangs are sculpted, it's so much easier to get light under the face, so you don't get as much shadow. Like, that's one thing I hate about when I'm reviewing Goku figures, is you guys can see the bangs completely cover his face. And I mean, it's accurate. That's not a complaint. That's more of a nitpick. But it's just something that I like about this one. It's easier to get light under the face. You can capture more expression without a whole bunch of shadow covering his eyes and his forehead. But as you guys can see, the face, it looks pretty good. Something looks off, but it's not like a bad off. It's just, it's not Tamashii Nations quality, and so that's not something you should be expecting, and so that's why I don't see it as a complaint. It still looks really good, and he's going to stack up just fine with the rest of your Dragon Ball collection. Now, as far as the uniform goes, it's a very bright color orange, which makes sense because he is in Super Saiyan Blue, which means that his clothing would be lit up. Now, the sculpt on everything looks great. The details in the arms, the clothing, I love the belt. This floaty piece, which is pretty much exactly what they did with the original release, all the way down to the boots. Everything looks so good. Now, there's one little nitpick I have with this guy, and once again, it is a nitpick. The chest sculpting is a little soft. It's not bad, but it looks a little soft. It's not bad, like I said. It's just I don't know. It doesn't seem like it matches the rest of the body, but if you're detailed looking, then obviously you'll notice it. But if you're just having fun posing this figure around, it's not even something that you're going to notice. So I just wanted to throw that out there just because I see it and I am a reviewer. But other than that, I don't know what this white is. Actually, it's probably because I rubbed alcohol on it. And so that's not anything that's on the figure. You guys don't have to worry about that. I was cleaning it up. But yeah, this guy, in terms of looks, I feel like they did a great job. The back of the hair looks really dope. I love the sculpted lines and detail. Paintwork is very clean. I don't see anything sloppy at all. And so I'm definitely impressed with this. I feel like Kong Studios did a very good job, and I'm happy with it in terms of the detail. Now, I really try to focus on detail and accessories quite a bit whenever I cover third-party figures, just so you guys really know what you're getting into when you're buying it. But everything else I'm going to try to move through quickly. So moving on to his height, as you guys can see, to the top of his forehead, he's a little under 5.5 inches. To the top of his head, he's almost 7 inches. And so once again, he's going to fit in scale with the rest of your Dragon Ball figures. And of course, I will be showing him off with some size comparisons later on in the review. Now, articulation-wise, he looks up about that much. Pretty much standard for Goku. So, I mean, that's normal. He looks down very well, but you got to be careful because you do get this face popping off issue. But this is something that even happens with Tamashii Nation's figures. So, really, he looks down only about that much, which, once again, that's fine. Totally fine. You do get tilt at the neck, as you guys can see, and of course it's going to turn all the way around because it's on a ball peg. Now, what I do really like is the fact that they added a diaphragm joint in here. That moves exceptionally well. I'm very, very happy about that. It's a little bit loose on mine, but it's not to the point to where it's a problem. As you guys can see, for the most part, it holds its place, but if you wobble it, it will kind of flop around, but it's not bad at all. It's not like it's going to do that every time you start posing him around. So as long as you can keep him in a steady pose, you don't have to worry about that, but I did want to throw it out there. Now, one thing I also like is the sleeves. This is what I was worried about because this is what I always worry about on third-party figures. The sleeves are sometimes a major problem, and this is something I dealt with Demoniacal Fit, where they just kind of flop around, but these are hinged in very well, and so they're not going anywhere, as you guys can see. But anyway, if you move it, the arm can go up and out about that much. He can totally get a punch. He does have a wow, really good butterfly joint, so you can bring his arms in pretty far. He does have a bicep swivel, as you guys can see, double jointed elbows, and you can pretty much get these pieces touching. His hand, I'm going to see how these are. Okay, so I had no problem with that. Dope. His hand is on a ball peg. As you guys can see, you can move that around freely. A little bit of hindrance at the wrist, but that's all right. He does have waist swivel, and that's awesome. He crunches forward about that far, back about that much, not too much. Now, this is where the limitations are going to come in, but it's to be expected. This is a floating piece, but it's also almost a hard plastic, but he can kick forward if you lift it, and that was my fault, about that much. So if you lift it, he does kick pretty far, so I'm not going to complain. I don't know where that hair came from, but yeah, he can kick out about that much, so that's also really, really good. You can get him in some kicking poses if he's fighting, so I'm happy with that. He does have a built-in thigh swivel, double jointed knees, as you guys can see, so that works. No boot swivel or anything, but he didn't have that on the original. Foot goes down a little, but this was an issue I was going to get into. The foot does pop off a little easily. It pops right back on, but it is something you guys should know. If you move it down, for the most part, it's probably going to pop off. It goes up, as you guys can see, it's not even staying now. It goes up about that much. He does have, let's try this one actually. All right, so this one works a little bit better. It might just be this one, because as you guys can see, the ankle rocker on this one is working fine. Now, moving it up is when the problem come in, just because obviously you're pushing plastic against plastic, and so it's going to do that. But this one isn't popping off nearly as much. Also, he does have a toe hinge. So articulation-wise, pretty much standard SH Figure Arts movement when it comes to a Goku figure. And so, I mean, I'm fine. This is pretty much what I was expecting from a Goku figure anyway. Now, one last thing I want to touch on is this piece right here. This is on a ball peg, and this works very well. This is awesome. I'm very glad that they made the decision to do this, because not only can you move it around, which you were unable to do on the original piece, but you're going to be able to do something else with it that I'll show you guys in the accessory section. Now, for the accessories, you don't get anything too crazy, but you do get enough. First off, you get a alternate head sculpt, which is actually just a normal Goku head, which this also came with the original, but it didn't come with this face. So this is a brand new expression from what I know. Now, be mindful. Once again, the plastic is not the same as Tamashii Nations. So this one does have a little bit of shine to it. So if you want it to be an exact match, then you're expecting a little too much. But it still does look really, really good, and the plastic is the reason why you can see a little bit more of a shine to it. But I really like this. Now, you also get a yelling, screaming head, as you guys can see. Mine has a little bit of extra plastic on the chin I'm going to have to shave off. But yeah, you do get that. And then, of course, you get a teeth-gritted face, which this one's probably my favorite of the three. So you do get some expressions with him. Of course, you get the neutral expression and a pair of fist hands. You do get a pair of blasting hands, as you guys can see. You get a pair of martial arts hands, and then you get a pair of Kamehameha hands. So they gave you the necessities already, but then they even included some extras. You do get his signature waving hand, or you can use this for a key blast if you want, and then you also get an instant transmission hand. So ton of hands you get for a Goku figure. I'm fine with that. But honestly, my favorite accessory is the alternate piece for the belt. I love that they included this, because this is what came with the original Tamashii Nations version, but there has been some artwork where it looks like this, and I think that looks dope. I love that so much more. I know some people might not like the big bulky belt, but I dig that. I love that so much more than the original one, and I'm actually going to keep that on for the rest of the review. Now, one thing I wanted to throw in, just because I know someone's going to have this question, is yes, you can actually swap the heads between the original Super Saiyan Blue 2.0 Goku and this Kong Studios version. But the only difference is that the skin tone does not match. And also the eyebrows are going to be way darker on this one. You could get away with the faceplate on this one matching the hair a little bit or being a little bit toned down. But as far as the skin tones just flat out do not match. And also, if you wanted to do it, you can completely swap the head sculpts, because the ball peg is the exact same size in both of the necks. So if you like this look, which I actually really like, you can do this no problem. Now, one thing I'll also say about it is that this was very easy to change out. I didn't have to put this in any hot water or anything like that. It was super simple and it worked very well. So yes, for you people wondering, you can also do this. Now, for some size comparisons, here he is standing next to the SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan Blue 2.0 Goku, the SH Figure Arts event exclusive Black Goku, and the SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta with the demoniacal fit Super Saiyan head sculpt on the body. Next up, here he is standing next to the SH Figure Arts first release Jiren, the SH Figure Arts 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta with the demoniacal fit Evolution Blue head sculpt, and of course the SH Figure Arts merged Zamasu. And comparing him to some stuff that I just happen to have around me, here he is standing next to the Medicom Toys Batman Hush Superman, the Marvel Legends movie Deadpool, and the SH Figure Arts Final Battle Edition Iron Man. Now, I'm not completely familiar with Kong Studios. I don't know if they have made any other figures besides this guy. I believe they might have made the Vegeta, the shirtless battle damage version. I don't know if that was them or not. I didn't end up getting my hands on that one, so this is absolutely my first pickup from them, and I have to say once again, I do really dig this. It's an interesting figure just because it doesn't feel like an SH Figure Arts, but it does feel like an SH Figure Arts. And I know that's weird to say, but I dig it. I really love what they did. They have their own kind of engineering going on here. The paintwork is really clean. I've noticed that there's actually some shading throughout the body. I love this hair sculpt for Goku. I wish that the boots were just a little bit more snug when it fits onto the ball peg. That's probably the only issue I have with this guy, because everything else works fine. As far as the diaphragm joint, it's a little bit loose, but it's not to the point that it's a bother to me. I think they did a great job. As far as the rest of the joints, everything is tight. Once again, the paintwork is clean. This hair sculpt is amazing. He comes with a decent amount of accessories. I'm very satisfied with this. And so, once again, I have to say big shout out to 5K Toys for this. Thank you for sending this over to me so that I could review it for you guys. This is absolutely awesome. And for my Goku fans, if you're not satisfied with the 1.0 release of the Resurrection F Goku, then by all means, this is one you could definitely pick up and I feel like you will be happy with. I've showed you that you can swap the heads. As long as the skin tone part doesn't bother you too much, then of course you can kind of mix and match this guy to make it what you want. But me personally, I'm going to leave it like this because I love this head sculpt. I love the hair. I really love what they did with it. I know I've said that over and over, but it's just really dope. I did not like either of the Super Saiyan Blue head sculpts that Tamashii Nations has given us, but I really am enjoying this one. And so it's dope. This is definitely worth the pickup. Get your hands on it because I do feel like once this thing sells out, he's going to be difficult to get your hands on. I know what happened with the Vegeta. Like, people were scalping that thing like crazy. So get your hands on this. Once again, I will leave the link in the description below to 5K's Toys. I can't even say it now. To basically their webpage. I'll leave that in the description below. So go check them out. They also might have some other things that you guys are interested in. They have a ton of Dragon Ball items in their shop, and so go check them out. But that being said, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe wherever you are. Peace.